Hey guys, subscribe for daily content, and if you're shopping for gear, make sure you check out the description for the newest items at some of the very best online retailers. There's also links for some of the items that I personally recommend. Thanks!
What's going on YouTube? Metal Complex here, and today I've got another short little unboxing video to share with you guys. I saw this on DLT Trading and I had to know what it looked like in person. Many of you, I'm sure you're just like me, you're like, this looks cool, but I really, like, this is a stock image. I need to know what it looks like in hand before I make my decision. And, you know, for most people, that's not possible. Fortunately for me and for everybody watching, it is possible for me in a lot of cases, not all cases, but DLT Trading has loaned me this knife so that I can look at it and I can share with you guys what it actually looks like, which is super cool. This will go back to DLT Trading when I'm done. I will provide links for this knife and whatever else they have in the same series down in the description so you guys can check it out if you want to. It does help my channel when you use those links, but that's entirely up to you. Thanks to my patrons for supporting me, and make sure your notifications are turned on for the Metal Complex YouTube channel. So what do we have here? We have a variation of the Livewire. It says 9,000 raw blue. I guarantee you, there's a bunch of you right now going, "Oh my gosh, I'm thinking the exact same thing." I saw that and thought, cool, but I need to know what it actually looks like, right? So this is if you don't know, the Kershaw Livewire is one of the most recommendable USA-made OTFs. I almost said USA-made, American-made. USA-made American OTFs. These are literally manufactured in the United States, not assembled. We have lots of people who are new and guessing getting that incorrect. Oh man, shiny, 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 much more shiny. Sorry about my yellow shirt. That was a bad choice. I'm going to stand over here so it reflects. I'm going to stand off to one side. Sorry, you guys are going to get me on the right side of your headphones here. This is much more shiny than I thought it was going to be. That's super cool. Now let's take a look at the blade. Ooh, it is. It's just like the Sapphire PVD from ProTech. So I'm going to assume this could be titanium nitride. I think titanium carbonitride, which is a different thing and is much more durable. Some people say it rivals DLC. I don't actually know. I've heard that it's slightly weaker, but there are different benefits. Anyways, I don't want to get into the weeds of that. It could be titanium nitride to achieve this finish. It also could just be a type of PVD, and PVD is a process, right? But PVD also refers to a lot of general sort of mid to high end coatings that we see on a lot of knives, kind of leading up to, you know, ultimately DLC, right? So when we say PVD, PVD can reference a coating, but it is also a process. Like, for example, DLC is a PVD coat. Like, the PVD process is used when applying DLC, but DLC is a specific end result. Does that make sense? This is something that, you know, and a lot of people, a lot of reviewers, including myself, are a little lazy when we toss these terms around, right? But I believe this is the same end result PVD process coating that is used by ProTech. It is very, very shiny. I was looking for something to wipe it off here. You just get a brand new. I have no shortage of brand new microfiber cloths. You ever win a knife from me and you're like, why didn't it come with a microfiber cloth? Because I steal it. That's why. Sorry, you can have the knife. I want the cloth. Just because like with knives like this, I would wipe something off. I don't want to use some nasty old rag, right? Or if you loan me a knife, right? I want to keep your precious little babies all nice and shiny. Anyways, that is absolutely gorgeous. This is exactly what I was hoping that this would be. That is phenomenal. How well will it hold up? Well, I would venture to guess the same as, you know, if you have a knife with a rose gold PVD from ProTech. Truthfully, like, here's a good way to understand how durable this will be. Basic, titanium nitride coatings, such as, here we go. I'm just getting my big pile. If you don't know, I have a literal 400-pound container of gas station knives behind me. This titanium nitride, right? This is a knife that's been, let's say, loved, right? These get tossed around. Even these coatings, Now, there's going to be at least one guy in the comments who are like, actually, the rainbow coating is extremely durable because reasons, and it's just going to be a lot of stuff that is just like opinions and not really scientifically researched. This is not considered a durable coating. This is considered on the lighter side. People confuse this with titanium carbonitride. It is not the same thing. This is a titanium nitride, like or titanium oxide, right, in that general area, right? This is a coating that can be scratched, right? For example, like this versus your DLC. Here's a Maxima blade, right? Now, if I were to scratch this with something softer, like let's use the Ontario Rat blade, right? So this right here, not gonna, oops, just about got myself there. This isn't gonna do very much, right? Now people are gonna say that I'm gonna push harder, that I'm gonna use the same amount of force. This is a Maxima blade, right? Even pushing pretty hard, it's not doing much. I think I can scratch it. Like if I were to hold this down, sure, I apply more pressure. But just applying a little bit of pressure doesn't really do much. But this isn't considered a hyper durable blade. So a lot of people hear that, especially new people, and they go, "Oh my God!" So the blade durability is just going to like fall apart, right? This is factually not going to stand up. If this is what I think it is, it's not going to stand up as well. This will stand up better. If this is exactly the same thing, then the amount of force it takes to scratch this blade is literally like I have to hold this down and really grind into it with a 67 to 68 HRC Maxima blade. That means that general reasonable use with this knife will not result in the coating or the finish just wearing away immediately. This will be a long and gradual process. If this thing, I'm going to call it right now, just by doing this incredibly simple, non-scientific, I'm obviously not going out of my way to create the most scientific parameters here, and some people will just simply not be able to accept what I'm saying. They will need it to be overcomplicated, and what I'm saying is it doesn't need to be. In the simplest and most intentionally non-scientific way possible, this coating should be, generally speaking, more durable than these basic rainbow-coated knives. This knife is obviously not indestructible in terms of the coating or finish, and a light, grinding against a blade tip is not going to scratch it. It takes quite a bit more. The example I used here, there's probably plenty of variables in between. The example I used was holding it down and really pushing into it with a 67 to 68 HRC MagnaCut blade, right? So what I'm trying to do here is give people peace of mind. If you assume that these coatings are incredibly delicate, don't think that. I'm sure the coating's fine on that one. Yeah, like the blue maybe eventually will mark up and maybe over years and years and years begin to wear away, right? Now, if you're using it as a shovel, right? Or maybe you are using it as the sole tool to pour concrete for your driveway and then smooth it out. Like if this is the only tool that you use for that, well then probably a lot faster. I'm being sarcastic, right? If you use this like a knife, it should be fine. Don't expect it to be indestructible and certainly don't expect it to be DLC, but it should be at least more durable than those basic rainbow coatings. And those basic rainbow coatings, truthfully, aren't that bad. So, I don't know. I think this is awesome. I think this is a super cool release from Kershaw. And if not just for the blue, which they do extend, this is probably aluminum anodized, right? Or, I don't know, maybe it is actually the coating, because the pocket clip is not going to be aluminum, probably steel. But I do love the raw aluminum look. I think that looks awesome. I think the blue looks awesome. And the implication here is that they can do this on like pretty much anything, right? And not just blue, they probably have, I think they've also got the rose gold and probably some other colors. So I think this is awesome. This looks substantially better, as I expected. It looks substantially better in person, than it does on the listing. So pretty cool. And these are still MagnaCut, and Kershaw is still hitting their MagnaCut, to my knowledge, at 62 to 64 HRC, which is perfect. That's going to be it today, guys. I've already reviewed the Kershaw Livewire. Spoiler alert, it's an incredibly recommendable knife. And if you can legally own and carry OTFs where you live, then you should absolutely pick it up. So consider that one. I'll have links for this guy as well as other variations of the Livewire down in the description. Please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you'd like to check out my other content, I do of course have lots of videos of knives that are either expensive or inexpensive that I do or don't like, so check those out. And if you enjoy all my content, go ahead and click on that Metal Complex logo right there and subscribe because there's definitely more coming. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and have a great day.